die-hard fans, but money talks, especially at 5 times face value.
If you had these tickets and you could get $450, $500 for the pair, which costs only $400 for the season, I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It's better to be there, but if you can watch it on TV and get money while you're at it, you know, why not?
And they're not the only ones. Many resellers are waiting to see who will pay the most before making the final deal. They'll sell to the highest bidder by Wednesday.
Honestly, when they hear the price, they're like, that's kind of steep. But then once they hear that other people are offering it, then they say, just keep us posted.
The occasional altruistic fan is selling for a meager $40, defying the laws of supply and demand, while others are making the most of Warrior fever.
This is 2 weeks' work right here. This is 2 weeks' work.
Of course, there are thousands of fans who wouldn't give up their tickets for any price.
If somebody walked up and said, I'll give you $500 for your ticket, what would you say?
I'd say no.
Why?
Because I want to see the game, in person. It's the excitement that you being there. It's just like watching your son or daughter being born.
But for some of those cashing in, it doesn't stop with Friday's game. Check out this pitch for Sugar Bowl tickets with the lure of a possible Hawaii berth. And of course, there's the Washington game December 1st. What'll those be worth on resale?
It depends if they win or lose. Yeah. Go Warriors!
Now, the only law governing all of this is the law of supply and demand. Reselling tickets at a higher value is legal. Hawaii's scalping law was phased out in the 1970s. Gina Mangieri, KHON 2 News.
Wow, the same as watching your son or daughter being born. Now that is a big-time fan. And while ticket scalpers are having a field day, security for the big game at Aloha Stadium this Friday is being increased. Andrew Pereira continues our coverage. Andrew?
Joe, stadium and university officials want to prevent a repeat of the Fresno State game earlier this month. Watch what happens when the Bulldogs kick an extra point. If you look closely, you can see a water bottle being flung at Fresno State fans sitting in the R and S sections of the north end zone. A fan at the game said he and his family were also cursed at and belittled. He says some of the verbal jabbing turned into actual fisticuffs.
Most of us in our section were spending more time just watching out for things going on around us, just to make sure that we were safe and didn't really get a chance to enjoy the football game.
Will have 64 police officers on hand this Friday to supplement about 40 private security guards. Coach Jones will also appear in a public service announcement that will be shown before and during the game.
Also, for the safety of the players, please refrain from throwing paper or other objects on the field. This is Hawaii's time to shine. Let's make the most of it. Mahalo.
Now, officials say anyone kicked out of Aloha Stadium could be subject to the state's trespassing law, which could result in a 1-year ban from the stadium. Andrew Pereira, KHON 2 News.
Tailgaters will be allowed into Aloha Stadium beginning at 10:30 in the morning through the lower Halava parking gate. Several alternate parking sites will also be available. Football fans may park at Kamehameha Drive-In, Radford High School, and Ford Island for $5. Parking at Leeward Community College is free. Free shuttle service will be provided from Kamehameha Drive-In and Ford Island. The shuttle from Leeward Community College costs $2. Shuttle service will not be provided from Radford High School. All parking sites will open at 11:30. The first shuttle ride is at 12:30 in the afternoon. The last return trip will take place 1 hour after the game ends.
With the Nevada staff yesterday, and they had
today, the Western Athletic Conference acknowledged a couple of UH Warriors for their roles in Hawaii's dramatic 28-26 win over Nevada last week. Tyler Gronke, who got the start at quarterback for Colt Brennan, who was still recovering from a concussion the previous week, was named the WAC's Offensive Player of the Week. Gronke was 33 for 46 passing for 358 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also conducted the Warriors' final drive, which set up the heroics of kicker Dan Kelly and his game-winning 45-yard field goal. That effort earned Kelly the conference's Special Teams Player of the Week honor. Kelly's kick came with 11 seconds left, and he had to do it twice after Nevada coach Chris Alt signaled a timeout, which negated the first attempt. Kelly also nailed a 45-yarder earlier in the game. How you doing, everybody? Let's talk sports. The win over Nevada preserved Hawaii's unblemished record, now 10-0, and sets up what some are calling the biggest game in the history of the program. Warriors host 10-1 Boise State this Friday. On the line, nothing other than an outright WAC championship and a possible BCS berth. Hawaii 15th in the latest BCS rankings. The Broncos currently 19th. So to start the week, let's take a closer look at Boise State. They've ruled the WAC with at least a share of the conference title for the past 5 years. While the Warriors lead the nation in scoring at 48 points per game, the Broncos are third at just over 44 points per. Boise State's second in the conference behind Nevada in rushing offense, averaging 200 yards on the ground, mainly through running back Ian Johnson's 94 yards an outing. And quarterback Taylor Tharp is no joke. Taking over for Jared Zabransky this year, he's got 27 touchdown passes, one less than Colt Brennan, to just 8 interceptions. Brennan, by the way, has 12. Oh, and the Broncos are tops in the WAC in passing defense. Bottom line, it's going to be a showdown with historical implications.
We lean on our entire team, and it's not all about our defense. Just we got to do a good job on offense, hanging on to the ball, not giving them a short field. We got to play good on special teams. You know, everybody wants to put it all on the defense, but this is going to take a total team effort. We're pretty much planning on this being probably the most hostile environment that we've been in, certainly this year.
And the value of this matchup is not lost on the WAC either. The last time two top 20 teams played each other in a conference battle was October 22nd, 1994, when 11th-ranked Colorado State faced number 15 Utah. Utes won that game between two teams that aren't even in the WAC anymore. Anyway, even the conference commissioner thinks that this Friday could serve as a defining moment for the WAC.
I have compared it to the 1996 BYU-Wyoming game, which was the inaugural WAC championship game. BYU was ranked number 5 in the country at the time, and there was a lot at stake, and there was a lot of media exposure, a lot of national exposure. But I certainly would place the Boise State-Hawaii game on par, if not. In fact, I'll go on the record. I'll say it is the biggest game in WAC history. I firmly believe that the winner of this game deserves to play in the BCS. Boise State has a little bit further to go than Hawaii. I still am confident that an undefeated Hawaii, despite what happened in the polls yesterday, does get to top 12 and will be playing, New Year's Day, whether it's the Fiesta Bowl or the Sugar Bowl.
Friday's game has a 4:05 start time and will be broadcast live on ESPN2. For those wondering, Colt Brennan did practice this morning for UH and is good to go for this week's game, although he was not one of the 3 finalists announced today for the Davey O'Brien Award, given annually to college football's top QB. Those spots went to Dennis Dixon, Tim Tebow, and Chase Daniels.